Hey, Mystic Micheala spiritual family. Welcome to Know Your Aura with Mystic Micheala. Today, I am sitting down and catching up with New Jersey housewife from Bravo, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Dolores Catania. She is coming up on her, I think, 7th season with the cast, season 13 of Real Housewives of New Jersey. And we're just going to catch up before her premiere, which I believe is this week. But first, hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. Yeah, one of my absolute favorite housewives.
Yeah, she
Dolores,
likes you too.
Yeah, I know. Yes. She's Indigo, right? Indigo.
She is.
Yeah. Just love her. I actually cleaned the green room for her. Usually I don't clean the green room for the guests, but for Dolores, I pull out all the stops. And she's in the green room now. She needs a little time to get ready, which will give us some time to talk. She's actually, this is kind of strange, but she's like hot gluing our table to the floor. Is there any reason behind that?
I mean, she might not want the other cast members to flip the table.
Okay.
Yes,
so she's hot gluing the table.
Okay.
We'll let her do that. And while we let Dolores do that, I was like, let's tell a story. The fair. We went to the South Florida Fair the other night.
Oh, yeah.
In Florida, you go to the fair in the wintertime. Most places around the country, I think all the fairs are like over the summer.
Sure.
But in Florida, the fair comes in the winter.
Yes.
So it was going, well, it started off well.
Let's set it up.
Okay. All right.
So I guess there's two people in life. There's fair people and then there's not fair people. And I don't know. I don't know what we are, but we haven't been since 3 years ago. You're not a fair person.
I'm like a mix. I'm half.
Yeah.
I'm a half fair.
Okay. So we haven't been since pre-COVID. And we told this story in the podcast forever ago. You have an affinity for something called $2 Tuesday. And it is when admission to the fair is only $2. And that's the last time we went. It was like 3 years ago. And we had a great time. That was the birth of us, the kids and I calling you cheap or whatever, because it was funny. But anywho, you're not wrong about it, because otherwise it's like $20 to get into the fair. So it's Tuesday, $2 Tuesday. Kids had school, but we're like, you know what? Like you and I were like, you know what? This is happening.
It's happening.
We're going to the fair.
Yeah.
We're going to do it. We haven't been in 3 years. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
I was pumped up.
Yeah. We got them all ready. We're in the car.
Yeah.
There was a little doubt, because it was a long day for the kids. They had school.
School.
We had actually a dance class after.
Yeah.
And we passed one of our favorite restaurants, and we're like, should we just, should we just go to this restaurant?
Yeah.
And be like, but Abby's like, no, I want to go to the fair. So we're like, let's just do it. And 3 years ago, I remember I found a secret entrance. Like I saw it, on our way out, I saw this secret entrance.
Yeah.
That you can get in. You can skip the entire line.
Yeah. You figured this out. It's like this whole Google Maps in your head.
Yeah. And I kept it in my memory banks for 3 years till this moment. And there was this massive line to get in because it's $2 Tuesday. Everybody wants to go. Everyone's Mr. Cheap like me wants to go on $2 Tuesday. But I do this back entrance. So I went. I'm like, all right, you think it's going to work? I wasn't sure. You even asked, like, hey, what's the worst? If this doesn't work, how much time does this set us back? And I'm like, it's going to set us back another 20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like risk versus reward, Scott.
25 minutes.
Risk versus reward.
So I make the turn, go down this back street. Nobody there.
Oh, man.
We get skip everybody.
You slid right in. Just like Petro Honchar does to all the DMs.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, we're back to Jumanji this week.
Oh, okay.
Paul Anka is over. So we get right into the parking lot. And then I didn't even, I was so high vibing, I didn't realize it even. I went into the $20 park.
Oh, that is different from 3 years ago. They used $2 Tuesday, used to have $2 parking.
Right.
But the parking was regular priced. But now they have like preferential parking.
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, whatever.
$20.
$20. The regular parking is like $10. But I was in such a good mood for breaking that line, getting past every single person. Like I won, red, I won. Dad, I'm like, you know what? $20 parking, that sounds okay.
And it was close.
And yes, and here's the thing. I actually had like the first spot. The guy got out right as I was coming in.
It's perfect.
The best spot in the lot.
It was great.
Best $20 I've ever spent.
I was so purple.
At that moment in time.
I was like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We're going to eat fried dough. I'm going to get my lemonade. I'm going to play I Got It. If you're fair people, I got it.
Yeah.
We're going to play I Got It. I'm like, I am feeling good about this.
Yeah.
We're getting kettle corn.
Yes.
Everything.
We are so high vibing. It is unbelievable. The highest vibe we've ever had.
Seriously, just picture it. We are a happy flipping family.
You know, I go up to the ticket counter. There's nobody there.
Nobody there.
I lay down my $6
because Abby's free.
Two. Me, you, and Bree. $6. Very giddy.
You put it down like it was like a.
Like laid that money down.
Like at the big. What is the big players table at the casino? You're like, yeah. You slap down that 5 and a 1.
Yep, that's right. That's right. We go. There's go right in. Go through no one on security. You know, they do a security check. Easiest thing we've ever done.
Slid right in.
Yes.
Now you slid into the Agri Center.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else but me.
It's like agricultural building.
Everybody know what that is? I don't know. It's like one of those huge buildings that fairs always have. There's a dino exhibit.
Yeah.
I'm like, heck yeah. Let's look at the fair dino exhibit.
Yeah.
And and I am so purple. Like just remember that. Usually I'm more indigo. I am very purple, but so I'm so excited. And then I get the little tug on my hand and the pull down. If you have a kid, you know what that is. You get pulled down to their level and I hear, my tummy hurts. And it's Abby. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, well, you're probably hungry. She's like,
yeah.
I'm like, you're probably hungry because you haven't had dinner yet.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, my tummy hurts. I'm like, well, let's go to the bathroom.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, bathroom's right there.
Yeah, you went to the bathroom. I got stuck in a cooking demo and someone trying to sell me windows.
Okay.
But, you know, I was very, you know, I was so high-vibing. I was like, you know, whatever.
That's the fun of the fair.
Yeah.
So
we have new windows coming next week.
Great. Did you?
No, I'm kidding.
Usually you just like sign up for the contest and they bother you for the rest of your life.
I gave them a fake email of someone I don't like.
Okay, perfect. So this is the downside of being purple. When you're really purple, weird people approach you. So, and we're in Florida. And it's $2 Tuesday. So you can imagine, like, there's a lot of reasons why more weird people would be here than normal and on purple. So I'm in the bathroom and, you know, the bathroom was crazy. And, you know, I grab Abby and I'm getting in, I'm getting out. I'm like doing it. And some woman comes up to me and she like comes to my side and she's like, you want to buy some tickets? And I'm like, looking at her. And now here you go, real quick to piggyback off last week with cold reading versus energy reading. Immediately when I felt her talk to me, I felt sick inside and nauseous and I just wanted to run. But if you looked at her and you did a cold read, she was wearing like a crucifix necklace and she was very short and little and she had like a very conservative outfit on and stuff like that. And, I don't know what they were trying to do. They were trying to sell something because then I saw her later hooked up with other people and then it's like a real sketchy vibe doing something. And I'm like, oh God, I must be too purple, you know? So whatever, I pushed it off and I ran back to you. And we continue on with the fair.
Yeah. I mean, and I didn't know really what happened. I was like kind of wondering, you know, why I was at that cooking demo so long.
Yeah, but Abby was really affected.
And I thought everything was fine.
Yeah.
So we went, unfortunately, the spot we came in was the midway. The midway of the fair is the most, you know, busiest place of the fair. So we're in the midway. I'm just walking, trying to find, you know, a spot where there's not so many people. And then all of a sudden you're like tugging on my shirt.
Yeah. So Abby just kept telling me I can't walk anymore. My stomach hurts so bad. I cannot move. And she was like convincing. Like I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, And it was time to let you know, I'm like, hey, Scott, I'm like, she's in pain.
Right.
And I don't know why. So let's get her something to eat quick.
Right. So they're now, all of a sudden, I'm starting to shift. The red, like, needs to fix everything.
Yeah, you're starting to get angry. But still okay.
But still okay, because I went right up to the first, everything was they had $2 deals at every vendor. So I'm like, oh, we'll get the $2 deal. Things are still okay. So I get her, like, the $2 pretzel stick, whatever. And I thought, you know, look good. I mean, I wanted one myself. And I thought things would be okay.
And it wasn't.
She was just
like...
Ate this, but she did. She ate it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what happened from there? We kept going. I found like a quiet spot. I'm like, oh, okay. We found a quiet spot. Right next to you wanted these fried donuts or what do you call it? Funnel cakes that you wanted. It was right next to that. So I go over there to go get them. I come back and then...
It just wasn't happening. So I'm like, we have to go. That's it. Because she was like in such horrific, like she was doubled over in pain, clutching her belly. Mommy, I can't move anymore. She's too big for me to carry, but I was carrying her. and then, it's the fair. So there's like the parades going on and like people everywhere. And as this is happening, because you're in your own red aura world, like trying to like solve this problem, people kept coming up to me. And it was really weird. Like people were kind of like meandering over or getting in my space with Abby or walking a little bit too close or approaching us or sitting next to us when there was a lot of other places to sit. So that part was a little off. So then I'm starting to think like, is she picking up on the vibe of the place or something? Because the vibe, I'm prepared for it. I'm okay. But I wonder if she's picking it up and like absorbing it. And she is not a fair person possibly. And it's been a long day and it's time for her to go. But she was like in pain. So we had to go.
I know. So
you were very upset. You were very angry because you spent like $26 on this experience, and this was really hard for you.
Well, I thought, I could fix the problem. And, I had a plan, and it was just like get to what part of the fair is called Yesteryear Village, is where like all the old houses are. And I figured we'd just get to there, and that would solve everything. But that did not. So we did have to leave.
And, the car is completely silent because we all know you're pissed because you spent your $26 and we were there maybe 20 minutes.
Yeah, we were there probably 20 minutes.
And the rest of us are still okay. Like Abby's like, oh, in the back seat. And then 5 minutes later, like Bree's like, well, I'm hungry because really nobody ate dinner. And so you're just like, and you're like so grumpy. And then right by our house, there's a Wendy's. So you just like went through Wendy's and Abby's like, well, I'll have a kid's meal. And then we get home and Abby's, the kids like set up their Wendy's and they're eating it. And then Abby's like totally fine.
She was totally fine.
Totally fine. She's like,
totally fine.
Oh, my tummy stopped hurting. I think it was a bad vibe. Because she heard me say it.
Yeah.
So she's like, I think there was like a bad vibe there. And I don't know. Like you were just, and now you're saying we're never going to the fair again.
Yeah, we're probably going to go to Disney before we go to the fair again.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not going back to the fair.
She was pulling that at Disney, too. It's just, I think there was more of a incentive to keep
Disney
going there.
Disney costs you like an arm.
You're not leaving Disney.
You're not. The fair was $26. Fine. You want to leave? All right. Even though I had the perfect parking spot. Perfect parking.
I mean, honestly, I didn't get to play my I Got It. And I was so bummed. I really wanted to play that.
All right. Well,
and I wanted my lemonade.
All right. Dolores is still gluing tables. We have an ad to do. When we get back, we still have time. We put up a post, or you put up a post, MMSF, dog, cat, pet pics. We're going to read some of them.
Most New Year's resolutions involve long-term habits, but they're quickly forgotten about after a week or two. But with Fabric by Gerber Life, you can resolve to finally get life insurance, and you don't even have to do it again next year. Fabric is the quick and easy way to help protect your family and cross that important to-do list item off. Fabric was designed by parents for parents to help you get a high-quality, surprisingly affordable term life insurance policy in less than 10 minutes. Fabric's new lower prices could mean potentially significant savings over other providers with great quality policies like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day. Life insurance can have a bad rap for being complicated, but Fabric makes it easy to apply with its seamless digital experience. It's all online and on your time. And if you need extra support, Fabric's team of licensed insurance agents can answer questions along the way. It takes less than 10 minutes to apply. See your quote and then personalize your quote to fit your family's needs. You could be offered coverage instantly with no health exam required. Protect your family today with Fabric by Gerber Life. Apply today in just 10 minutes at meetfabric.com/KYA. That's meetfabric.com/KYA. Meet, MEET, fabric.com/KYA. Policies issued by Western Southern Life Assurance Company. Not available in certain states. Prices subject to underwriting and health questions. So today, because we have Dolores coming on, and she's such a strong advocate for animal rescues and animal adoption, we thought we would go to the Mystic Micheala Spiritual Family and ask you all to put your animals in a thread so I can do some pet readings of your, which is my favorite thing to do, of your fur babies. So Scott, we grabbed a couple, and what do we have?
Okay. So there were a lot of entries.
Yes.
I think there were over 500 comments at the time of this taping. We will, obviously, I guess rare to get picked because there's so many, we can only do a few. But we will try to use them in the future.
Yeah,
future episodes. So if you didn't get picked today, there's always a possibility in the future. Of course, I'm sure you want to read every single one of them.
I do.
But, then the podcast would be like 7 hours long. All right. The first one I have is from Kim M. And she writes, "This is Zoe. Adopted her 9 years ago from a rescue. Every year we think she will calm down, but she still acts like a puppy. And there's a picture of her in a ball pit, which is, if I was cold reading, if I was cold reading it, I would say, she likes to have fun or something.
Right.
But, all right. So what's with Zoe?
All right. So with Zoe, that's funny. She likes to have fun. When I look at Zoe, to me, she gives kind of, almost like a nervous or anxious energy immediately. By the way, and I did an animal reading episode. Animals don't speak to me. The way they speak, it's through energy. They give me feelings and just I download just their mental states and things like that. So when I look at Zoe, I get kind of like an anxious, controlling kind of energy. So I feel like some of her behaviors, and I don't exactly know what this is, but I feel like some of her behaviors are because she wants to tell you all what to do. So when she acts a little wild because I get a lot of circular movements or excited circles around her or something. So when she wants people to calm down, she actually amps up to get them to focus on her. And then she feels their focus and then it makes her feel more in control, which is a really long way around it. But I feel like control for her makes her feel safe, probably because of her last situation. I don't know if you know anything about her where she was before, but I get a couple things around her. I get I get a bigger dog. I get bigger dogs. So, and I get this issue with because I'll get this sometimes. It's clairsentient or these sensation feelings on myself. Her right back leg feels sensitive to me. I wonder if she used to get nipped a lot or something, because that part of my leg feels like, ooh, don't touch it. Gives me the heebie-jeebies. It's just kind of interesting on her. But she feels like if she was a person, she'd be really talkative and she'd have a lot to say. And she would also kind of lead conversations where they were supposed to go. So that's her big thing. She wants control and she tries to get it through acting a little crazy so that everyone's like, what are you doing? And then that to her is focus, gotcha, like that.
Okay. You get all that from that one
yeah,
picture.
She's funny.
I get that
I love your readings, yes.
I get that if I took her to the fair on $2 Tuesday, she would, stay, eat the fair food, the $2 fair food, and it would have been a good time. she would not have wanted to leave with a stomach ache.
No, you think Zoe's just a good time?
Yeah,
I think she's a good time. I think she is, too.
All right. The next one that we selected is Christy L., but she has 2 dogs that we're going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to read the 2 of them, and then I'll let you do your thing.
Okay.
All right, so first is Ollie. I rescued him, and we believe he was previously abused.
Aww.
He now lives such a spoiled life. My dad makes him special food every day, and he has tons of warm sweaters he loves to wear to stay warm and blankets to cuddle up in. He's a real love bug, and there's a picture of him in a little ladybug costume.
Yes.
I think we did get that for Abby when she was 2 or something.
Right? That was Brie. But yeah.
Brie. Okay.
Mm.
So, yeah. All right.
It's okay.
And then Christy L's second dog is Buddy. He is now 17 years old. He's obsessed with eating and sleeping. He has a hard time getting around since he's blind.
Aww.
But luckily he has Ollie to follow around. They love to give each other kisses. And I think she has him in, is that dressed up as an avocado?
I think that's an avocado.
I think it's an avocado.
Yeah.
Maybe Brie had that as a Halloween costume.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got Ollie and Buddy.
Okay, so Ollie's the one who was rescued that they feel was abused. So when I look at Ollie, and I'll get this from rescue dogs sometimes too, even if you don't tell me they're rescued, it's this feeling of gratitude. This dog is completely aware that there's another way to live, and they're really glad they're not living like that anymore. And they know it's because of you. So it's a lot of gratitude towards you. I also get that this dog tries to do a lot to fill, Ollie could even be an emotional support dog or something, because I get that he understands when he's very emotionally sensitive to other people's ups and downs. And so the more kind of inward somebody goes, the more he'll try to lay on top of you or try to do those dog things to make you feel like you're not alone or isolated or that you're with him. So I get him a lot of laying on you and a lot of like his weight, and he's a little thing, but like his weight being put on you when he can feel your ups and downs. So I think that that's really, really interesting. And he knows people around him like to feel useful. So when you talk about your dad making him good food every day, he might even do that more for your dad than himself, because he's like, oh, because I bet your dad feels purposeful when he does that. And then that's what Ollie picks up on. So Ollie's like a little therapy dog or something. And then Buddy, who's the blind one in 17, listen, I know this dog is 17 and that's amazing, but he is like one of those animals that does not feel his age. Like, to me, the way he responds to probably normal aches and pains of being that age, he's just like, what's that? Oh, what? Moving on. Like, he just kind of ignores it. He feels like he's got a great attitude, really. And I feel like I do get that he has like weird little things about him, like weird mannerisms. And I get, I'm getting a weird dog thing now, because I get this need to like eat things that aren't food. And I wonder if he's looking for, he wouldn't know this. It's just like a feeling that I'm getting in my mouth, like this need to taste something. And I don't know what that is, but I can get that if a dog's looking for nutrients and they don't exactly know what they're looking for. So I'm not a doctor at all, but something to think about, because that's what I get when a dog's looking for something. So I wonder if he eats weird things is my question. Okay.
You get all that, those two pictures.
Yeah. They're great.
Yeah. I mean, I don't get much. I feel that Buddy, if he was at the fair as well, would probably go to all the stands. He'd probably want some avocado toast or something like that.
He feels social.
Yeah, he feels social.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he might even get along with Zoe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it'd be a real big feud. I'm not sure. One of the two. They either get along.
No, Buddy seems like he's kind of in charge. He's got more like a calm alpha energy. It's funny because dogs don't know they're not blind. Like, it's a weird thing with animals, and I think that's why we love them so much. What I notice with dogs especially, as long as they have their sense of smell, they're good. But when they start losing that, which sometimes I get when they're close to passing, then it's really sad. That's when they really feel it. So he's okay.
All right. We'll move on to Chelsea M.
Okay.
And she gives us Hank. And I right off the bat, I feel Hank's a red-blue. But all right. If dogs could be a red-blue.
Yes, I do too.
You do? Yeah, right?
Yes. I know what you're about to say. Yeah. I know what you mean.
All right. So Hank has passed. He passed just before Christmas. I've never felt that kind of sadness and loss from a pet.
I know.
He was the best, the absolute best family dog. He loved us all and is missing something fierce. All right, let's see. I get it. He's a red-blue. What do you
know what? I know exactly what you're trying to say. Yeah. So Hank is actually making me cry, which I'm an empathic medium. So even with pets or people, doesn't matter what, I get their feelings run through me. And his feeling is just like, I love you. I mean, and dogs don't even have to say the words. They just, you know what I mean? Like, dogs are love. So he's just giving me that feeling towards you. It's so pure. Little girl, like, I feel like he saw you grow up. I get like kind of growing, or in his mind anyways, he definitely has like, he was your alpha dog vibe. So he took care of you. Although he feels like he passed it. When he passed, he has this sensation he's giving me of he left you in good hands. So there's someone else in the family who has this alpha energy that he made some agreement. I mean, he feels like it's kept up where, okay, I'm giving you, Chelsea, to somebody else, and then that person's taking care of you, or that animal's taking care of you. But it's somebody or some animal with an alpha energy. I hope this makes. Does that sound weird? No. Like this alpha energy thing?
No.
Anyway, smart dog, very serious. If he, I do feel like he had. Well, I know all dogs love a squirrel, but I feel like he's the type that was like squirrel, and then he was like, never mind, you didn't see me care like that. So, but he's on the other side. He does feel like, I wonder if he was some sort, I don't know if it's a breed thing or something, but some sort of hunting dog, or he's got that kind of hunting dog vibe with me, like where he would hunt, not to kill, but for the search. Like, he loved the search. He's smart dog, smart.
All right.
Oh, Hank.
That's hard. Hank. All right. We'll leave that one at that.
Okay.
All right. So we have Shauna D. And she sends Simba. So this is my Simba, 2 red hearts. He's the best pup out there. He's been so wonderful with the kids. Love him so much. All right,
Simba really stood out to me because I get, again, these dogs, I feel like they're home with you, and they're home with the kids and stuff. And you don't realize how much they feel that they're actually the ones doing everything. And Simba's one of those. And it's just like, I got it. Don't worry about it. Like that kind of thing. So Simba to me feels like he's very responsible. I feel like he's very nervous about the in and out. So there's something with a door or something with people going in and out of the house that stresses him out. I feel like he's looking to you, Shauna, that it's possible you don't have enough regulations for his liking what the in and out game on the house is. So I don't know if the kids are like running in and out the backyard all the time and they can do it whenever they want. He's judging you, basically. He's mom shaming you. I mean, they're not judgmental. But he's like, what are you doing, lady? Like, keep them. I feel like he's got this thing because he feels it's his responsibility to go probably in and out with them. So he's got some sort of like, come on, and it feels like it's all the time. And I get the noise, I get this noise of a door that makes him stressed. And now when anybody opens the door, it's like, he's like high alert. So I do feel like it's just his complaint to you randomly. I wonder, I need to know about that.
Yeah. And you know what? This is weird because usually I know, well, yes, I get everything from the pictures, but no, in this one, it actually looks like he's just like, come on.
He's like, lady, come on.
That's what he looks, he's got that vibe. Like, come on. Like that kind of thing.
It's like, come on, Shauna. If you're taking this picture of me for the MMSF thread, I'm telling you exactly what my problem is.
And all right. I think that too. I hope that's right.
I hope that's right too.
Right.
Because it's just very much the vibe on him.
Okay.
But I love his energy. I mean, he cares.
Yeah.
He cares.
He does. He looks funny. He
definitely cares.
He looks good.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So we did a few today. Obviously, we know we want to get to them all. There's so many more to get to, and we will in the upcoming episodes. We'll figure out things on the page to do, whatever, from time to time. But if you're not in the Mystic Micheala spiritual family, we do encourage you to join. Put your pets' pictures up there. All right. We got a couple more ads, and then Dolores is finally ready.
Did you know that 1 out of 8 couples struggle with infertility? Seriously, that's a staggering statistic that most people don't know or aren't ready to talk about. But we need good data and information about our bodies in order to have informed conversations with our doctors and make the best decisions for ourselves and our futures. That's why Modern Fertility was created. It's an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label and you'll get your personalized results within 6 business days. You'll get insight into your hormone levels like your ovarian reserve, aka if you have more or fewer eggs than average for your age, and other important factors that can impact your fertility. The results go deep into what every hormone means, and you can also download the results to review with your doctor for next steps. Traditional hormone testing at a fertility clinic can cost over $600, but Modern Fertility tests the same general set of hormones for only $179. And if you go to modernfertility.com/KYA, you can get $20 off your test. Plus, you can get reimbursed for the test through your FSA or HSA. If you want kids today or maybe one day in the future, clinically sound info about your body can help you make the decision that's right for you. Right now, Modern Fertility is offering our listeners $20 off the test when you go to modernfertility.com/KYA. That means your test will cost $159, which is a fraction of what it would cost at a fertility clinic. Get $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/KYA. modernfertility.com/KYA. Winter can be such a hazard to your skin. Cooler temps, indoor heating, zero humidity. It just zaps that water from your skin, leading to a compromised moisture barrier. So when it comes to replenishing your skin's moisture barrier, Osea is your one-stop shop for clean, nourishing, clinically proven products for both face and body. They've been making seaweed-infused products that are safe for your skin and the planet for over 26 years. Let me tell you about Osea's anti-aging body balm. Oh my gosh. It is silky, ultra rich, this like liquid body balm. It just melts into your skin. I put it everywhere and it combines the lasting hydration of a lotion with the anti-aging benefits of a serum. I mean, this stuff just isn't for your face. Like, you have to take care of your whole body. That's what I've learned. And I absolutely connect to Osea's mission of clean, seaweed-based skin and body care products, so you know you're using good stuff. This is a great habit. All of Osea's products are clean, vegan, cruelty-free, climate-neutral, enriched with seaweed, and made in California, so you can just feel good about what you're putting on your skin day after day after day. Plus, they're clinically proven and consumer-tested, so you know they work. Their anti-aging body balm is performance-based body care. I mean, it uses the most beautiful oils like passion fruit and coconut oil to moisturize, and it just leaves your skin absolutely gleaming. And it's clinically proven to improve the appearance of skin elasticity, it firms and tightens. I mean, it's done it for me. So start the new year with fresh, clean, vegan skin care and body care from Osea. Right now, we have a special discount just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order site-wide with code KYA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order and free shipping on orders over $60. Head to Osea, O-S-E-A, Malibu.com and use code KYA for 10% off. I am here with New Jersey housewife Dolores Catania. You know her from Real Housewives of New Jersey, and she's one of my favorite people. Hey, Dolores.
Oh, you're my favorite. So, we kind of started together.
Oh, I know.
Do you know that?
I guess so. Yeah, the way I see it is because I was such a fan, and I still am. I'm such a fan of yours. But I remember
Thank you.
My husband DM'd you. I think it was your first season on. And you actually answered back, and you were like, yeah, come down, Mystic Micheala. And I did. You were in Miami, and you were so sweet, and you're such a normal person, and you were like, come on into my house, have some water. Like, you were just the nicest person.
Well, it was funny because we still had the place in Florida, and it was at the Pinnacle, so you guys drove down to meet me. And, your husband, Scott, is like husband of the year guy.
He loves you.
You're the cutest couple goals.
Oh.
And he's so good and so supportive of you. And I remember exactly what he said. He said, my wife is really good at what she does.
Oh.
And I was like, all right. Listen, and coincidentally, which is a blink away from God, right? I was going down that weekend by myself. It was an appearance I had to do by myself, not knowing what I was doing. Somebody asked me to walk in a runway. I was maybe just on the show a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I drove down and I went. I said no to nothing in the beginning. So when I sat down with you, and, through the years I had gone to different psychics and things, but nobody who ever was like you or a reading or anything. So when you sat down with me, I had just lost my dog, Boo, who on the show, people see that I cry over this dog because someone channels Boo. And I never had expected that. But you had done it, and you told me that he had bone cancer, would make so much sense to me. Now, had I known that before, Micheala, I would not have let him go on living as long as he did. I kind of made him suffer longer than he should have, thinking that there was hope because the doctor told me, like, he had got hit by a car or something, which I knew he didn't because he never left my side, but he was maybe, I don't know, maybe he fell. So, you clarified something for me that I didn't know, and it made so much sense. But to just know, to hear from him again was amazing. And then we kind of seen each other now and then whenever I would come in. But you've grown so much. And, I mean, I don't know if you could be better at what you do, but you always seem to be getting better. And it's just amazing. My first experience with auras was I was in Mexico about 15 years ago on a vacation with somebody, and there was a booth where you could take a picture of your aura. And I didn't understand anybody's language, but I said, let me do it. And it was a lot of purple, and I remember there was a lot of purple in it. And they were all crowding around me, and they said, "You're going to be on TV.
Oh,
You're
I have chills.
To be on TV." And I was like, "What?" And they were like pulling people over, and they were showing them my colors, and here I am.
That's amazing. Yeah, when I look at you, you're purple, the indigo, you have such an unusual aura for television too. Like, just because of how sensitive you are, I feel like it's really hard for people with your aura combination to be in the spotlight the way you are. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong. All right, so let's back it up a little. Being indigo, you're so emotionally aware and emotionally psychic and able to really, and you're somebody, and that's why you're so great with animals. Like, you just go, you don't need words to know where someone's been hurt or where someone needs you or where someone needs things, you know. Do you think it's...
I feel it. And that's something you taught me about an empath. I had never known about an empath, but there's so many times in my life I could be walking past someone and I'll get a gut feeling. Like, I'll feel their hurt in my gut. I remember I was at the gym and this little girl was there with her nanny who was all done up. And she was like chubby, but I felt so much pain from her. I had to ask about her. And sure enough, it was... She was getting picked on in school, and her mom wasn't really present in her life, and her nanny was very into herself, and the kid was just, I wanted to take her, and that had to be 20 years ago, but, you know, there's certain times in my life where or somebody would be sitting next to me, a woman and her children, and I feel a lot of pain from the mom, and I would make it my business to talk to them. My kids have been testament to this, and, you know, whatever, pay the tab just so we could become talking, because I knew she was someone who may have been hurt by a husband, because I felt it. And sure enough, it was never wrong.
Wow. I feel like with you that you don't shy away from doing things like that. I mean, we've seen you on the show. You do a lot with women and children and animals. Like, you don't shy away from talking about something or bringing something up that somebody's going through. I feel, and just that validation that you can give people. I love that, just the way that you walk into it with honesty, because maybe walking on eggshells, or when people don't want to talk about something, it can make people feel more isolated or alone. And you don't do that to people. No.
I try to have people talk, not when they're in a totally emotional state, but when they're more calm. Because when people are emotional, it's hard on me too, because I want to get violent, and I get very worked, as good as I am. You know, I know you say I'm good at, everybody has the same abilities, I believe.
I do
could
too.
Be wrong. I haven't read your book yet, but I would assume that it's true.
No, I believe that too.
And you know, but there's a part of me that has, you know, I have a temper, which I've been calmer now, but when someone's in front of me yelling and screaming, I just want to hit them.
I wonder if, you know how like dogs are like that a little bit, when like one dog's off, the other dogs will bite them or something like that. Yes. And it's kind of like the dog's way of being like, chill out, dude, you know, like, be normal. I wonder if that's something you feel.
It could be, because I have so many dogs in my home. I have a pack of dogs, and that does happen sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, like, if one dog's acting weird, the other dogs are like, I'm going to do you a favor, and I'm going to bite you. Because...
weirdo. You're like a freaking weirdo.
Yeah, and normalize yourself. And maybe that's just you, Dolores, and that's okay. So, all right, we just talked about how, like, you're indigo, you're purple, you're intuitive, you can get violent when people bother you sometimes. How do you make it on this show? Like, you've been on, how many seasons are you on now?
This is 7.
Wow.
So we've known each other for 7 years, you and I.
Crazy.
And you've guided me at times, like, guided me, put things into words that I cannot. That's another issue I have. And it's just, when you say spirit and this and then you connect, you speak in ways that only... Like, how do you know? Not that you're telling my future, but you're putting what's going on in the moment into perspective, into the right words. You're explaining to me what I don't understand. So a lot of it has been people like you that have helped me, understand. And then just being, I've been through so much in my life that I'm able to compartmentalize things and keep things in and detach myself also from certain situations. But the biggest problem is when it gets too ugly, then I kind of remove myself from everybody. And there's a part that comes with that is sometimes feeling left out.
Yeah.
and, you know, kind of like, but I don't care. It passes.
Yeah.
It passes. And then it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. And I've done well so far, but like, it's just to be so in such a tight knit group where people are getting really angry with each other. Lately. Yeah.
I watched the trailer before our little talk here today, and I was like getting anxiety like for this coming season. It seems like it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. And I think that's the thing. Like, you guys are such a tight knit group. I think out of all what do you guys, the franchises? Yeah. Thank you. I feel like you guys are the ones, I think, cause you know each other so well, and you're like actually
family.
Yes. Like, this stuff's real. Involved. Like, it's very real.
The husbands are involved.
Yeah.
And the men.
Oh, the men are involved. Yes.
And you know, it's just, I just don't want to see things the way they are right now.
Yeah.
And they need to, I'm hoping, I have a lot of faith that something will turn around, but I don't know.
Okay. So I wanted to know you have filming. There's like a whole behind the scenes component. There's people in your house. There's probably lighting all over the place. There's cameras.
I'm looking up at the broken things so I'm in Paul's house, my boyfriend, Paul. You'll meet him this
Yeah, I was going to ask about him. That's right.
Yeah. And you'll meet Paul, and this is his beautiful home. I'm going to show you the view that I have right now.
Oh, look how it's so modern.
Yeah, it is. So really this beautiful. Is the view.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And it's the view of New York. We're on the other side. We're in Edgewater.
Okay.
And he's an electrical contractor.
Ooh.
So he does very high-end residential and hotels and things like that. So this is a 4-story townhouse.
Oh, nice.
And Paul built it to be a bachelor and have no one in it but him and his 2 sons. Eventually, like once in a while, when they come. But it's immaculate. Well, it was. Production comes in.
Yes.
Sleep all over the walls.
Right.
You know, the floors used to be like immaculate. And we had the finale here.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Well, you have a nice, I just saw that, that balcony, that patio, whatever that looks like a great place to have something.
Yeah. So this is the upstairs apartment. And then there's 4 floors underneath. There's a movie theater and everything. But Paul did not expect it.
Yeah.
And he's also very private. He's from Ireland. Mm-hmm. He's not American. He's been here 20 years, but he's like a little bit, I think in Europe, people are more to themselves in certain ways. Like, their homes just aren't open to the public. Like, his home became open to the public. And, you know, you don't know who's in and out. But he had to trust me that he was also a good sport. He had to trust me that the people I have come in and out are good. So I had hair and makeup 4 days a week.
Right.
I have underneath the chair I'm sitting on, there's dye from my hair getting colored here.
Right. There's so much going on. Like, there's so much stimuli all the time because I mean, you're filming, but it's work. It's work, and it's a lot of people in your energy, and you must be like really fatigued when filming's done. And then right away it's like, oh, okay, press, and we're talking about it. So it picks up that way.
You relive it. So, you'll see the first episode on the 7th. And, reliving it, you have to remind yourself that was 6 months ago. The other thing is, once you move on from an argument with someone, don't pick it up again when you see it, because you're going to, because, maybe you'll have the argument and what you saw in that minute, you guys talk it out. But you don't see what was said behind your back until it airs.
Yeah. So I always think about that.
That reignites all this emotions, anger, whatever it is you want to call it. So I actually had a little incident with that the other day, but we're good now.
Okay.
So,
Because you get to preview like the episode the week before, don't you? Or something like that?
No, not the week, a couple days.
Oh, only a couple days you get?
We got a little early this time. We got it like yesterday. So, yeah. You'll see the first episode is quite the introduction. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
So it's a lot.
Okay, so So we are going to be seeing. All right. So where we left you
You're
off.
going to meet Paul.
Yes,
You're
Paul.
Meet Paul.
Right.
It's very vulnerable for me to bring my dating life to, because David, as you know David.
Yes.
He wasn't really on and wasn't really a part of it, which was more me. Okay, you know me.
Yeah,
like
you're
I'm
private, but like you're very private. Like you're vulnerable about your own stuff, but when it comes to the people in your life, you're protective of them.
Right? They didn't sign up for this, and also like I have a tough exterior. I'm not supposed to be like a little mushy and a cornball. Like
right.
I can imagine what this is going to look like.
Oh no, it's okay.
I'm a little shy and embarrassed. I'm old school. Like there's no PDA. There's no, stuff like that. Not where you got to be like stern and like you don't kiss your boyfriend in public. I don't know. Like I was a little bit probably more gushy than I would be. I'll wait for the call from my father when he wants.
I think that's cute. Last season. Sometimes I find these little things. I don't know if anybody else talks about them, but like I'll see them. I'm like, oh, like it bothers me, or I noticed something. There was this incident. I feel like it was Jennifer in your house, and she was crying because the whole thing with the husband came out. And she didn't know how to handle it, and I think you said something to the effect of, I don't remember exactly what you said, but like stop crying or something. Remember that?
I can explain it to you. Which
okay.
Jennifer did not want to explain it. Jennifer wanted to make me look bad.
Yeah.
But however,
and that bothered me. Yeah.
Because Jennifer and I had a conversation. I rallied for Jennifer. I rallied for her marriage. I know her husband. People make mistakes. I see how they've moved on from it. And I know from Jennifer what a lovely, beautiful life she has, which I'm happy for her. And I was being a friend, being like strong. And she was like, okay, this is the night before. I go, you walk in this house with your head up and your shoulders back. And she goes, okay, remind me not to cry. Mm-hmm. And if I start to cry, get me water because then I'll stop. And then Jennifer turned around to say that I was doing it to protect Margaret, which that's not at all what I was doing. Right. I didn't want to protect Margaret. I didn't agree with that coming out at all. And it was more I was protecting her and everything she stood by all these years on her beautiful life. But yeah, so.
Yeah, because I remember that happening and I was like, oh, like just because, I feel like even if I didn't know you, I felt it was clear as day, you being an indigo too. Like a lot of times it's like, let's swallow our feelings. And you were just giving her that advice like, hey, no, look okay. Be okay. Go
home and fall apart.
Yeah, don't do this here because that gives people power. Yeah.
That was where I was coming from. Yeah. And she's still saying that that's not what it was. But some people, have their own way of thinking, I guess.
I know. Little things like that when I would see them, because I just watching all the franchises and knowing sometimes, I think everybody who watches the shows know how they work a little bit. Like they always try to come after people a little bit. Yeah. Like I think in editing, that's my opinion. I think they'll try to edit something or try to do something. And I was like, don't do it to my Dolores. I don't know. I was like, don't you dare.
A lot of people don't know me that well and don't understand where I was coming from. And she didn't make it clear that that's what it was. Yeah. It's not what she wanted to do. So it's okay.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay. So I think, let's talk about your volunteer stuff. You always do stuff with like the animals, like I said. Is there anything new going on with that? Or do we see any new animals in this season? Because that's my favorite part of you. Like when you're in the kitchen and then there's like kids and animals. Like anytime they do that and it's just like chaos and like your kids are coming in, the animals are jumping all around. It's like, but it looks so happy. There's always somebody fixing something in your home. It's always
nothing has changed. Yeah. My kids have just grown up with the same, only more animals and more kids. And that's the way I always wanted it. And it's beautiful chaos to me. Although I live here now, I live with Paul.
Yeah. Oh, you do? Okay.
I do. Which is another vulnerable thing because, in the past, that's not something I would do. I wanted more of a commitment to be engaged. But in this relationship, there's intention. And for me, intention means a lot more than a ring. Listen, the guy can get me whatever he wants. I just like the fact that this is a goal that we would work towards, not Yeah, I'm not gonna. Maybe when the yarn is like
exactly.
There's just, like I said, I like what I hear and what I see here. So I kind of I'm a little torn because I have my adult kids at home. Yeah. They came back and they both work. They're doing everything they wanted to do. She's a veterinarian. He's in finance. And they love their lives and their jobs, and they live together. I also have another little boy, Dougie, who's lived with me since Frankie was little, off and on, and now he's there permanently, my little Dougie. So there's always that home, and, now I want to go there, and I just want to sit, and I just want to watch them. I don't have to do anything. I just want to watch them be themselves, but I have to have a life too.
Yes.
So and you are the same with your children, and
yeah.
And it's just that's a little bit of a transition for
me. That's hard because, family feeds you, but you can still have them and not live, on top of them, of course, like what you're doing, and you're spending energy on yourself in a context where somebody's giving it back to you, like you said, with intention. I was looking at Paulie, his picture, and he's got a green aura, which makes sense, with his engineer. He's a smart guy, but he also feels just really grounded to me, and somebody who loves how grounded you are. I found this quote that he said about you in some article. I'm sure you heard it, but he said something like, "You're a natural, easygoing, understanding person who will fight for what's right. And when she has your back, nothing else matters. But if you cross her, you'll find out the hard way." I'm like, oh my gosh, he really knows her. That's
you know what it is. And to elaborate on that, I'm going to tell him to come up to meet you because you're a friend. I want him to meet.
Oh.
Hold on. So the thing with cross me, am I going to get mad in the moment? Am I going to want to knock your head off or throw a chair at you? Yeah, but I don't want to dig and get your life and ruin your life and hurt your family and fight with you that way. That's the way it is. Or I just don't want to be with you. I don't want to be around you. Yeah. And that's
when you shut the door on somebody and say nothing, that's probably that's the scary thing.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. If you're invested enough to argue or say something or have that fight, that can mean that, you're still in it. Because with you, once you close the door, it's closed.
I just think it's better that way. If somebody, you'll know, I feel like people should know when to do that. Mm-hmm. It's not immediately, not whatever. Sometimes you need a break from somebody for a couple of years and you can reconnect. I've reconnected with two people. Most people in my life have always been there. Mm-hmm. But there's some people, again, who, people get weird in this business. Friends you've had for a long time. They kind of got weird. There's two friends that got a little strange with me, and I stayed away from them because I didn't trust them anymore. And then, tragically, if something happens in their life, of course I'm going to reach out to them and say, "I'm sorry to hear." Yeah. And then you kind of talk a little bit, but then you just kind of be careful.
Yeah, you put your moat out a little bit. That's very indigo of you. It's almost like you're giving them the space not to hurt you so that you don't have to shut the door. You're like, you know what? I'm going to put space between us so that you don't do something that I can't ignore or I have to walk away from permanently about. So let's just give you space till you work it out or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, but we know we know just from watching the show, you are not one to get rid of people easily. We see this with you. And, we always love when Frank comes on the show. We enjoy him a lot. How is Frank handling the whole situation with this? Are we going to see Frank this season? Is he friends with Paulie? How's the deal with that?
Listen, everybody is adults, right? They have to get along. But again, there's different dynamics in our lives now. We had a family. The kids are older. There's a lot less need for us to be around each other. So, timing is everything. It's the perfect time for me to meet the right person. And it's the perfect time for Frank to meet the right person because there is now different boundaries and kind of less time. But there's no reason for there's supposed to be one person in your life. And I think a lot of the way people used to look at me was that I had somebody, which wasn't the case, as you know.
Yes, I knew that. Yeah. Frank was always your friend. You love him. He's the father of your kids. Yeah.
But to have a man come in my life and say, "I'm your guy," that's what you want.
Hey, how's your mom doing? I wanted to ask you about your mom's health because that was another thing last season when you got the news was, I feel like you were on camera when you got news about your mom. And
I was on camera.
and that was
She's good, but thank God she had, it was crazy. Because through the years, you've seen me warn my mother about what was coming.
Poor mom.
I said, Mom, you can't eat cake for breakfast. And she would. Your diet sucks. You're overweight. You don't move a lot. And, this was my constant fight with my mom because my mother is such a driving force, and I'm one of 5 in our lives. And, I mean, we won't be able, if she lived another 100 years, it wouldn't be long enough for us.
Of course. I've met your mom over the phone. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah. So she's doing better. She did just get some news that wasn't so great about her diet and, some blockages. So she's got to buckle up. I mean, I can only do so much.
Yeah.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
I know. And it's hard when you love somebody and they're not taking care of themselves. I think it's a good lesson for us all. When we take care of ourselves, that's the best gift we can give to the people that we love. Because if mom took care of herself, even though she probably thinks that's selfish or she doesn't think it's a big deal or whatever, what a gift that would be to you and your siblings.
Absolutely.
I know. It's a good lesson for all of us. All right. So before we finish up, if you had to rate this season... like
of what? The stress of the craziness. Well, there's 3 new girls.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at them. Oh,
and they fit right in.
Okay.
And it was our first trip abroad this year.
Okay.
We went to Ireland, and you're going to see. And there was so much fun on that trip, and there were fights. There was some intense fights, but there was still so much fun. And I wish that the whole season remained like that.
Yeah.
We can have our differences, but we still needed to get on. I think this season is going to be very telling for what's going to be the future of this franchise.
Yeah. I can see that. I mean, this is like my own, just looking at the preview and the upcoming thing. I feel like there's strength in numbers and some of y'all, not you, but some of the other ones, they better learn how to get along and band together, because that's what people want to see. They don't want to see all this.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Back when there was a novelty of violence and craziness and back when this started. But, you have to conform to the times. People are so now sick of that. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see such cutthroat. It's not what sells anymore. It's sure, life arguments, bickering, fighting. You say this about me, I say this about you. Real issues in friendship, group friends, right?
Of course.
But not like a vicious thing like that's going.
And I think some of the people in your group, I'll just say it, I feel like Melissa and Teresa, it's time to just everyone get along and figure it out, because what you just said, people, I don't know, they're exhausted, and you guys are such a fun group too. When everyone gets along, like you said, I think it's just very contagious for the viewers. But I'm so glad that we got to speak today, Dolores. Thank you so much for coming on. It was kind of last minute too, so I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad.
Oh, no, I'm so excited to see your face. And I can't wait to get your book.
Oh, thank you so much. You've been such a supporter. Where can we find you?
Oh, Dolores Catania on Instagram. It's just my name. Come follow me. Come see me.
You always post such cool, real things, exactly what you're doing. You're very yourself.
I'm just I hate taking my picture. I'm about 20 pounds overweight right now. Oh,
please. You always look gorgeous.
I just don't I eat junk food and I don't go to the gym. So what am I supposed to expect?
Stop.
I'm just hoping that this year I can turn that around. There's will be a reunion, and that's getting ready for your wedding. So I need to start now.
It's a lot of pressure. Oh, all right. Well, you always look beautiful, and your aura is gorgeous, just so you know.
Thank you.
So that's what greets everyone first anyways. Thank you so much, Dolores. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Hey, Scotty.
Hey, guys. All right. So Dolores, we've known her now for 7 years. She's, she's one of the first, Real Housewives celebrities that you read when we first started. And
she's so down to earth.
Yeah, so down to earth. She was, so sweet. A lot of gratitude. Just kind of a little housekeeping here before we end it today. Well, of course, your book came out on January 24th. The Psychic Workbook. Been fantastic. People are buying them. People have been sending us pictures. People have been buying, 7 copies like I told them to.
I'm so thankful.
Yeah, I've, been, anytime I stop by a Barnes & Noble, I see it, I just stop in and I get it.
You're so supportive.
So it's been fantastic. You're going to be doing the workshop. We'll be doing the workshops based off the book. That starts at the end of February. Right. And those are going to run through, when is it, like April? End of April. So that should be fun. Those will be great. I am starting to think about the Mystic Micheala Spiritual Family Gathering. I got an idea of a date. I don't want to say it yet. I think it's too soon. I want to make sure there's a place and everything before I mention that. But that's on the horizon. So really, things are going real well. We're really grateful.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all so much for your support. I couldn't do one thing without any of you. That's why I love you guys so much. And I wrote that book for you, really, and I'm just so grateful. Thank you for taking the time to leave a review. We're leaving a review for the book.
Those are big.
It really helps me out a lot. Leaving a review for the book and leaving a review for the podcast or anything you can do. Honestly, for anybody, when you do something like that, it makes such a difference. So I appreciate it when you take that time out of your very busy days to do that for us. So thank you so much. This podcast is for you and about you, and we're so grateful you spent some time with us today.